Yes, subtitle, all of Israel are responsible for one another. In light of the above, we can understand a perplexing saying by our sages who said, all of Israel are responsible for one another. Furthermore, Rabbi Elazar, son of Rabbi Shimon, adds, the world is judged by its majority. It follows that we are also responsible for all the nations of the world. I wonder, this seems inconceivable. For how can one be responsible for the sins of a person whom he does not know? It is said specifically, the fathers will not be put to death for the children, and the children will not be put to death for the fathers. Every man will be put to death for his own sin.
Yes, there are many people who don't understand at all where they exist, why, for what, what's required of them. So how can we say that everyone know what to do and don't want to do it? They don't do it. There's no such thing. No one in the world knows at all what needs to be done and what's happening. Yes?
Now we can understand the meaning of the words in utter simplicity, for it has been explained that it is utterly impossible to observe Torah and mitzvot unless the entire nation participates. It follows that each one becomes responsible for his friend. This means that the reckless make the observers of the Torah remain in their filth, for they cannot be completed in bestowal upon others and love of others without their help. Thus, if some in the nation sin, they make the rest of the nation suffer because of them.
And it's natural. If we are one vessel, a single vessel, although it's broken apart, the connections between us remain, but broken connections, meaning it's the same connections, but where before there was harmony, now there's an egoistic connection where each one wants to make a profit off of the other. But the connection exists. It's just a bad connection, but it is still as strong as it was. That's the meaning of it. The shattering is in the intention to bestow, but instead of it, now you have the intention to receive, an egoistic connection which exists between each and every one. It's not that we're disconnected. We all remain in the same egoistic system where each one wants to devour the other. Yes?
This is the meaning of what is written in the Midrash. Israel, if one of them sins, they all feel it. Rabbi Shimon said about this, it is like people who were seated in a boat. One of them took a drill and began to drill beneath him. His friends told him, "What are you doing?" He replied, "Why do you care? Am I not drilling beneath myself?" They replied, "The water is rising and flooding the boat." As we have said above, because the reckless are immersed in self-love, their actions create an iron fence that prevents the observers of Torah from even beginning to observe the Torah and mitzvot properly. Now we will clarify the words of Rabbi Elazar, son of Rabbi Shimon, who says, since the world is judged by its majority, and the individual is judged by its majority, if one performs one mitzvah, happy is he, for he has sentenced himself and the entire world to the side of merit. If he commits one sin, woe unto him, for he has sentenced himself and the entire world to the side of sin. As it is said, and one sinner destroys much good. We see that Rabbi Elazar, son of Rabbi Shimon, takes the matter of the arvut, mutual responsibility, even further. For he says, the world is judged by its majority. This is because, in his opinion, it is not enough for one nation to receive the Torah and mitzvot. He came to this opinion either by observing the reality before us, for we see that the end has not yet come, or he received it from his teachers. The text also supports him, as it promises us that at the time of redemption, the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, and also all nations will flow unto him, and many more verses. This is the reason he conditioned the arvut on the entire world, to tell you that an individual, too, cannot come to the desired goal by observing Torah and mitzvot, if not through the assistance of all the people in the world. Thus, each and every mitzvah that an individual performs affects the whole world. It is like a person who weighs beans on a scale, and each and every bean he puts on the scale induces the desired final decision. Likewise, each mitzvah that the individual performs before the whole world is full of knowledge develops the world, so it will come to this. It is said, and one sinner destroys much good, since through the sin he commits, he reduces the weight on the scale, as though that person took back the bean he had placed on the scale. By this, he turns the whole world backward.
Meaning that we are in a single unified system. We are all connected to each other, dependent on each other. And so each one who makes some effort in order to bestow, to come closer to others, to revive the system and create a good connection between everyone, he performs more and more actions until the system rises again as it should be, and then the Creator is revealed also gradually. It's not that we need to erect the system in its entire form immediately, but when we begin with these acts of in order to bestow, or we can call it above reason, faith above reason, bestowal above reception, we will then begin to feel that the system is again rising, that it exists and the Creator is revealed within it.
Latin 6.